All right. Good morning, evening, and afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sawubona podcast. This is our premiere episode. We're super excited. We have a great guest today. His name is Shohan or Sho. We'll let him introduce himself in just a moment. But just to give some context around the podcast and our focus, we are a new venue that opened up by Venice Beach. So we're a block away from the beach. We're overlooking the canals. We've got capacity for 200 people. And we are building community for founders and creatives. So we rent our company out for company offsites and private company events. And we also have private events for individuals. We're building out a membership model this year. So we'll start to have members in the space. And we're a proud Black-owned business. So we do look to support diverse networks, organizations led by women, people of color, LGBTQ plus, you name it. We are intentional about having a space that doesn't feel stuffy. And Shohan recently stayed, so we'll let Sho give us his kind of take on staying here. And so the purpose of the podcast is not only to elevate the space, but the brains that are in the space and the efforts and the impact of the founders and creatives that come in and out of Sawubona. So with that, Sho, can you welcome and tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Shohan. I go by Sho. I work for Rain, been there for less than a year, but I've been in the industry, which Rain is actually earned wage access and a financial health platform. So I've been in the industry for a while, really excited that we got a chance to have our executive offsite here and really just be in a beautiful space that we can be collaborative, communicative, and just take our company to the next level. So really excited to be here at Venice Beach.
Okay. That's awesome. And you are the head of sales and partnerships at Rain Technology, correct?
Yeah. So I actually joined back in March overseeing partnerships. And we did a really good job in really becoming a partner of choice for our company. So we actually work with enterprise organizations to help them offer this financial benefit for all their employees. And, you know, you speak a little bit about like diversity, like I'm a big advocate for DEI, diversity and just building diverse workforces, but I'm also helping all those individuals that probably stress about finances, especially in the minority community, right? We know payday lenders actually are in urban communities trying to take advantage of people, and our product goes out there to that employee so they don't have to go to that payday lender or pay a whole bunch of overdraft fees or pay late fees. It just could really help them. So I oversee partnerships, and then just recently also took over sales. So now I got a team that's interacting with partners that help us really become like working with those enterprise organizations, and a sales team that's actually talking to businesses every day so we could offer this benefit and help those employees.
Okay, and you mentioned, I heard enterprise customers several times. What's the kind of target range, like employees are the size of the company?
Yeah, so we would look typically between about 500 employees to as big as Literate Banners. Our largest client recently joining was T-Mobile. So all T-Mobile employees at a store, maybe they're at the corporate office, at us call center, we all love T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Their employees have access to Rain, so that way when they're in that bind or emergency happens, life happens, or they can access our app and access money that they've already earned.
Got you. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm with T-Mobile, so shout out T-Mobile. That's okay. That's incredible. So how does that? Just out of my curiosity, how does that work? Is it like, how are you all keeping the capital? Or I'm imagining you're investing it in some way, like you're keeping a diversified portfolio, I would imagine. How are you, managing the capital that you're putting behind this hub?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, you talk a lot about founders and creators. Our founders, one being a woman, which is also great, right? Being in this space. Our two co-founders, they came up with the company. The industry had already started, but really their goal was to be really mission driven and make sure they're doing it for the right reasons.
Yep.
So they have all the relationships. So we have an amazing executive team that created like relationship with various banks to have like the revolving credit facility, so we could actually offer those individuals access to the pay, and then we get paid back through those partner integrations, right? So whoever's through the payroll, whether it's the biggest companies like AEP, Workday, etc., or the small payroll companies, Paychex, etc. I actually worked there before, but we do it through that integration to basically be able to get repaid because we fronted that money
Right.
for that employee, but that employee earned it because we see the technology that tells us how much they've actually earned.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. Really creative approach there. So thanks for the insight. Thank you for the background. So now tell us about your stay at Sawubona. You all have been here for 3 full business days, right? We're like coming from different parts of the country. Like, yeah, tell us about your stay.
Yeah, where you come from all over the world, several from Lisbon, Portugal, from Amsterdam, Brazil. I flew out from New York, New Jersey area. I live right outside Manhattan in the New York area. Okay. Came here, and the moment I actually, this Venice Beach area is beautiful, right? I went down to the pier, had some food at cafe across the street, seeing all the surfers in the morning, walk through the Venice canals. Yeah, wow, I did not know about that, but walked into the office and I was already like amazed by the space. And maybe it's just me seeing the Kobe posters or the basketballs or the Black Panther poster, like big fan. So I just thought it was such a cool space. And then we used obviously the 3rd floor where conjunction with the inside, the outside patio, our entire team loved it. Collaborative effort, technology's all set up. So we had a really good meal. Like we would have to think about anything because it was already all taken care of by y'all. And for us, it was just like, let's get to work. That's the space that we got GCFO in.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's funny because I spent 4 years in New York before moving out here, actually. So I was working right in Times Square. I was at RSM. So I'm a CPA. So that was my background before pivoting. And so I'm like, farmer bullshit. So I was the worst. That's funny. So yeah, and like, one, you give me the New Yorker vibe. So I appreciate that. But then 2, I described the pocket we're in, like these 2 blocks going up to the beach. It really, to me, feels like New York meets LA. Yeah. I don't really know that many places in LA where you have probably close to like, you probably have like 30 different restaurants, you have bars, you have wellness places, you have coffee shops, you have a hotel. Like it's all right here for you going towards the beach, like convenience stores. So it's a really unique experience. It's a very walkable part of LA. Like it's the -- 1 tourist destination in LA, and there's some cool historical elements as well. But I'm glad you all had a great stay. It sounds like you were able to embrace or at least appreciate the creative elements in the space. So that's awesome. Anything else you want to share about your stay?
Well, your spot, we walked everywhere around here. Yep, we did get cars, stuff like that, walking from our Airbnb to here. Some people are at the hotel around the corner that we walked to our team builders, walked to eat. So I do agree, very New York style versus like, sometimes you're in places where, you have to commute and everybody has to logistically figure that out.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. Space was such easy with the technology, with the TV, the music, the Wi-Fi, the catering, everything was just spot on. Like not a single complaint. And honestly, what I learned through my organization, because again, not only do we have co-founders and creators and people that helped build this out here starting in Venice a long time ago, is that we probably could actually use this space more for a little bit of wine and dining on our partners and come up with like happy hours, things like that. So we're already thinking forward of like, when we had events in LA, like, hey, let's come here and bring people to this space, use the rooftop, and just really cater to all our clients in a good way.
Yeah.
So excited about that.
No, that's awesome. I think they can feel relaxed. They can feel at ease. You all haven't even seen it at night. It's beautiful at night when we get the lights going. We actually have a couple of fire pits. You have some stationary electric fire pits. You have some mobile heaters, so we can keep everyone warm. So yeah, it's a great transition into nighttime. I think that would be something incredible. We definitely look forward to that. Okay, anything else you want to share?
The other thing I'll just share, I mean, again, I think you guys are doing a real good job of branding and showcasing the brand.
Yeah.
I'm a big brand person, so personally, I have my own brand, joeforward.com. I call it Show Forward because I'm trying to help organizations, people, culture progress, and move forward, right? So, it's SHOFORWRD or FWRD.com. Like, I have both links, but it goes there. But like, and I talk about it because I think our personal brands really impact the organizations we also work at. I work in a corporate environment, even though it's still a small startup, with individuals that are, right with the full founder. I report directly to the CEO and co-founder. And even though that's the case where a corporate field, like my personal brand is just as important because both of those are amplified when I'm able to be on LinkedIn or social media or my website, or when I go out and do speaking engagements or these kinds of podcasts where, yes, I could talk about me and being out there, but I can make sure that people understand what our organization is doing. And at the same time, I have to almost think like a creator and creative and content and things like that. So I'm excited for having places that we can do more of this, and the opportunity to even be on this podcast to share about Rain, share about Show Forward, and just again help our community in different ways.
Yeah, no, that's also okay. So I see you're identifying as a founder and some elements of being a creative. Any advice you have for that young? Are you? Can I ask your background? I think background.
Go ahead.
Indian, is it?
Bears from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Yeah. Okay. Well, so is that so? Okay. Sorry. Inform me. Where's Bangladesh?
East of India. Basically, it's Sekat culture almost. I grew up. Actually, funny. I'm rocking my lake shirt every day because I lived in LA, Glendale, till about 10 years old, and then after that, I went to Houston. Grew up in Houston pretty much most of my life.
Okay.
And then through work, after college, I started my career, and they moved me around from Houston to Vegas to Jersey. And that's how I ended up working in the Northeast area. And again, I love just traveling anyways, but my wife's gone there, and I've just been settled there. But hopefully not too long, move back to the West Coast to an extent because I love the weather, the sun, and the beach and things like that. But yeah, that's my background. It's my parents from Bangladesh, so this wise.
Okay, and I've heard of Bangladesh. Like I say abroad in India. I was kind of lining up. I was like, if he's Indian, I can say it wrong, but no, thank you. So is it Bangladesh?
Bangladeshi, so people say Bengali.
Okay, so for that young Bengali founder that's out there, that's in a city and doesn't really know his path forward, but is working on something he's really passionate about. He's like, I'm not doing anything but this. Like, what advice do you have for that young founder or creator?
Yeah, I don't think it has to be that Bengali. I don't think it be anybody, right? I live in a diverse neighborhood. I live in a diverse place. I'm thinking of everyone versus just like one specific thing. But for anybody that's a young founder, creator, I know, I'll be honest, I have a 25-year-old daughter who's constantly trying to be a creative and figure out things. So I know exactly how it is. But I think the biggest thing I would say is one is networking, right? Like, hey, I'm available on LinkedIn. You just connected with me. I wear my dot band around so I can connect with anybody that wants to do that. And you can see my content, join my newsletter, go to my website, learn more about the positions we're hiring at Rain. Talk to me about your employers that would bring whatever it is, right? It's like the idea is having a go-giver mentality. So I'm all about networking because I want to help people. Go-giver.
Got it.
And then the other aspect I would say for anyone is anything you put your mind to do, it's all about consistency. If you're not consistent with it, it's just going to be flavor of the month, and it's going to be on to the next thing, on to the next thing. But if you truly are believing in whatever it is that you're doing, that you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to do it week over week over week over week, even when you don't see the results, even when it's Monday. Yeah. But that consistency is what's going to slowly build the momentum, and over time, it will happen.
That's I said. Thank you for expanding that to all founders. No, that's awesome. I'm 100% aligned with that. Any suggestion? So let me ask this, and I do want to be conscious of your time, but I just want to think now, kind of going back to the branding side. How important is having a strong brand for that young person that has 50,000 followers that's going to work at a company that has 2,000 followers, right? Like, what kind of impact can they have? Like, how powerful is a brand, and what advice would you give to those kind of trying to, maintain or uphold a brand and kind of bring that to a company to benefit the company?
No, great comment there. I'm big on brand. I did this actually at one of my friends, and he's a Black-owned business. It's actually the Class bookstore. You could go online. It's like books by Black authors.
Okay.
So I did a session in his bookstore in Houston. It was called "What's Your Brand?" and we did it called Nike Neck because we talked about Phil Knight's book, Shoot Up. And I'm not a big Nike guy, Jordan guy, etc. So we not only talked about the book and what Phil Knight did, we talked about how do you actually propel your brand. And there's a lot of different things you could do. And consistency is the underlying foundation of it. But it's being on LinkedIn, being on social media, representing what you believe in, being authentic to the point that it's, the right way to do things. And then if you're working in a corporate place or trying to get into certain companies, whether it's to make them your client or actually work for them, all of that stuff ties together, amplifies yourself. Right. I'm a person I hire all the time, and I want to see, is this person actually on LinkedIn representing themselves, their company, and like what they stand for? Because that's who I want to hire, because I know it can help amplify what we're trying to do when it comes to a mission. Right. So I think people's personal brand and corporate brands do intertwine nowadays. It's just, how do you make that happen? And also the organization truly believing in it. So I work in a great organization with founders that see that. The day I got actually hired, I remember when the COO called me, he said, "Show, like, when you join, I want you to keep doing all the things you're doing and help us do all those things." And that told me, like, I think the right company I want to work for, because they want to be me and represent my brand and everything, but help reign along the way. And that's the goal here, is like, we want to amplify it with various voices, authenticity. And I think founders that are trying to do that, there's ways to do that, and you have to just think about, again, the overall big picture, your mission, and be consistent.
Yeah, consistency. All right, that's going to be our word of the day today. So thank you so much. So, like, if there's anything else you want to promote or share with the audience, go free. But super happy, like, more than glad you enjoyed your stay. Thank you so much for giving us the time to, sit in on this podcast. You didn't have to do this at all, so really appreciate that. Just want to give you the floor to share any closing remarks you want.
No, I just say, you said, give you the time to set go different mentality, right? The more people have that, and we're helping each other, we all progress and prosper. So it's just being a go-giver. So when you ask, hey, can you come do this? Like, why not? Well, hey, why not help people out? Because honestly, it helps all of us out, and it's just having that go-giver mentality. So thanks for allowing me to be here as well.
See, you just gave me another new word, go-giver. I've never heard that. Makes perfect sense. I'm loving that. So we're gonna keep that one going as well. So yeah, thank you so much,
Bye, man.
and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
Thank you.